Okay, folks. Now, let's start a new one here. So, first of all, if you could, please like and subscribe. And it helps with the algorithm. And watch a few videos to the end, yada, and all of that. Or if you're heading out somewhere, just leave it on in the background. Let it run. Let the video run. But these are helpful videos, so watch them as best as you can. Anyway, now to begin. This is a cotton canvas. It is an extra fine cotton canvas. And on it, it is 16 wide, 12 high inches. And on it I have drawn a little landscape. And now I'm going to put across onto it an underpinning. And I'm going to start mainly with spirits, white spirits. And occasionally I will use some liquid whenever I'm up in the whiter areas. And it'll be dry for me tomorrow to come along and put the top details on. So let's begin. Now, let me see. I should probably put out a little bit of a little bit more of this actually, and I'll do it now. A little bit more raw umber. Just putting it out. Just while I have it in my head. Right, now. That is that now. Let me see. So, get a good bit. I want this nice and juicy as it were. A good bit of spirits on it. Good bit more of this. A pretty dark one here, folks. You see, just across here, up here, just dancing that around a bit. I see, just bump. I get some blues down in here. None of this at the time here is it's too precious. Nothing here is precious at the minute, folks. Look at that. Look at the lovely colours that leaves behind. Okay, now let me see, just colouring it in, folks. Not being too concerned at this stage. I'm going to differentiate. I want to be able to make sure that I know where my house is. I don't want to, if I cover it up, I want to be able to somewhat see what I'm doing. So now I'm using some liquid here. And I'm not going, this is not covering it up with its finished color or anything like that. This is just so that I can see where I am. Da 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 da. Little bit brighter actually. A little bit of liquid. Boom, right across. And this is just, it is basically just for placement. There is nothing for me to be concerned about. There we go. All right. Now, same brush, just wiping it off. And I'm going to put a bit of colour in it. And just here. Boom, boom, boom. I'll just go this way. All right, and the same with this one here. You can see that there's very little preciousness about it at this stage. There's nothing for me to be too concerned about at this point. I'm just marking for it is all. And the same here now. Now that line is slightly off, so that allows me to fix it there. Okay. Now, let's get the surrounding areas in here. Ooh, I have an itchy nose, folks. Ooh, I think a bit of hair has come up. Anyway, I'm sure you don't really want to know about that. But anyway, let me see. Let me see. A little bit of liquid to help with this. Let me see. A little bit of blue in it as well. Nice grey here. Bluey, raw umberish grey. There we go. A little bit more. And coolish colours, you know. And I think that's a bit dark. So there we go. So there we go. We're off in the distance, and I think that's a bit too dark. And some liquid, and that's just. And I think that's too light. It was. Right. I think this will do it here. So it will. All right. Not blue enough. It isn't blue enough. It isn't blue enough. And the same over here. A little bit more blue. Now, I just want to, before things begin to tack up too much, I just want to get them covered, as it were, get the textures in that I'm after. And I'll just darken the base of this a little bit here. Some blue in it, lots of blue in it actually. And a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of everything else. Just boom-pity boom. As long as I have an idea where that house is, I'll be fine. Don't be precious at this stage. There we go. Let me see, let me see. Okay. And I don't want to kind of touch this part of it here yet. Just that roof is off. And it's funny, I mean, I'm not paying attention to it here, but I still see it, and I just want to fix it. So I just want to fix it. That'll do it there. All right. Now we have a start, folks. A little bit of blue, actually. It's not coming off the brush, so get a little bit more on it. There we go. Just dancing that around, not being afraid of it. Up in there. So, I'm going to deal with the sky. I'm going to deal with the sky. Let me see, a nice. Go for a nice greenish one today. And I'll try this brush. Let me see. I'm in two minds what to do here now. Right, I think that's it. I think I've made up my mind. Oh, I have an alarm going. I shall be back in a sec. Okay, back to it, folks. Now, where was I? Yes, trying to create a bit of a sky here. A greyish, greenish sky is what I'm after. Just for the contrast. Yeah, and like always, everything is subject to change, folks. Subject to change. Needs to be a bit brighter. A little bit of spirits in it just to move it. And let me see, does it need to be any yellower than that? I think it needs to be more blue. Do I need any more yellow in it? I'm unsure. I am unsure. A little bit more spirits. Sweeten it up a bit. And am I too... I'm not... let me see, let me see, let me see, let me see. All right, okay. That's too dark. Way too dark. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe it off. Or wipe some of it off. That should allow me to come in with a bit of a lighter colour, and it shouldn't be too affected by what's underneath there. There we go. I'm just dancing all that around. Now let me see. Bit of a light shining through. Ba-ba-da-boo-boo. Ba-ba-da-boo-boo-boo. There we go. There we go. Oh, just nice and colourful. All over the place. Not being, because it's an underpainting, just not being too concerned. All right. Now let's get a clean bit of kitchen towel here. All right, and let's just work this in. There we go. Now while I'm here, I might as well mess this bit of it up here. Is that bright enough? I hear you say it is not. But it will be. I am still working on this, so I'll just leave that for now. Actually, no, I won't. No, I won't. I will continue on with it. See how much that is tacked up already? This is just a matter of minutes. So keep that in mind, folks, when you're doing this. It doesn't take long for it to tack up. It really doesn't. Okay, now continuing on. More red as I'm coming up towards the tip of this. Little bit of tiniest bit of spirits just to help loosen it up. Look at that. All right. Right. Nice and rough in and around here is where it's all going to. You want to get these nice softer edges in here. So then, and I think I need to add a little bit of white, or a lighter color to it here, just here. Around the edges a little bit. Okay. Now I'm going to use a dry brush here just to mess around with it. If I can find one, there's one. Just a dry brush, folks. There's a little trick for you. Not everything has to be done with a wet brush. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to add some colors into it. Just the colors of the skies if it's coming through it, you know. That's good. Right. So I'm going to add in a darker area here. I will let that set up. Just as I'm letting this set up, I will let that set up, and then I will tackle it a bit better. And I think that's all turning nice and misty, which is exactly the goal here. Look at that. Lovely jubbly. Lovely jubbly. All right, now. Yes, I will let this set up, but I'll do this area down here. So it's a kind of a bluey, cooler temperature down in here. You know, like a cool, what am I talking about? A warmer temperature down in here. Cool sky, warm water. So a little bit of oxide red, a little bit of cadmium as well in it. All right. Now, let me see where we are. Just get this. And here, and over there, and into here, and over there. All right. So now, no. So let's get in. Let me see, should I clean this palette off? Do I have room? I think I will clean it up a bit, so to push out of the way a little bit. Okay, and that'll do for now. I don't want to be wasting your time watching me clean a palette. Right. That will do, at least for the time being, at least for a few minutes or so. It gives me a bit of an area there to clean up, to do the things. So, let's get a green. Let me see, I get a nice blue here. Let me see. I think that's dead on. Bit dark, but it's okay. It's okay for my current purposes. Maybe it is a bit too dark, actually. Yeah, it's a bit too dark. It is a bit too dark. Okay, so we're getting there. Little bits at a time. Now, let me see. What am I doing? What am I doing here? Bit of a bluer green at the front here. Just along there. All right. Now, I think I'm going to knock this back a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Still a little bit more. Too dark, indeed it is. Too dark? I'm unsure. Give me a second here. Nah, it's too dark. Just knocking this back a little bit. I think it's just a bit too close to what I want here. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to start taking a little bit of time. Just messing about. Now I want this coolish over here. One thing I have noticed, and it was drawn to my attention in the comments, is that I don't talk enough about the temperatures of things. And I agree, I don't talk enough about the temperatures. And there's every bit as important as every other part of the. Now they're not, to me, they're not as important as the tone of it, but they are important as any other part. To me, tone is the most important area to deal with, especially for a beginner. If you're moving into this, begin with tones and then work on everything else. Okay, now we're right, so now this area here still needs darkened. So now I'm going to be more careful with my darks here. So I want this hot, cool sky, hot ish, you know. I mean, I'm not talking about it being like roasting, you know. Just a bit of heat coming out of it. Cool sky. Cool sky, warm shadows, and vice versa. Now this is where I'm just showing a tiny bit of extra care. Just don't want to go beating all through it this time. Now, ultramarine blue is a type of blue that is relatively warm. It's warm in comparison to cerulean, but it's cool in comparison to a red. I hope that makes sense to you. Everything is relative, by the way. Okay. Right, so let me see. Now, just going to get these edges all nice and softened up. I'll tell you what I'll do. I will use a fan brush. No, I won't. I'll use an ordinary blender. Just to get all this going in the directions that I want it to go. Now, let me see. That's a bit too uniformed. How am I doing? Am I dealing with it? I'm unsure. No. A little bit of blue up in here. A little bit of liquid. Just splashing that around here and there. I really do want to soften some edges here. So what I'm going to do, where's my other brush? This one will do. Right, so just a bit of a, that's a bit too anemic. That's not the word I was looking for. It's a bit too bright. I'm after a bit of a grey here. There we go, perfect. Almost an exact match. Let me see, coming for me. Right. Bump. A little bit of liquid. All this kind of is here. There's a bit of a glaze, actually. Just the tiniest bit of blue. I want this to be slightly bluish around these areas. It is a bit too early for me to be worrying about this. I must say I could do this a wee bit later, and I probably will. You know, yeah, I'll probably just leave this. There's no point, because it'll all be done soon enough. So let me see here. All right. Nah, nope, still not getting it. Still not getting it. Right. Just in here, just creating that touch of a blue tint over on this side here. Now, I need to be better with this. I'm not happy with it. I am not happy with it. Okay. I think. I just need. I'm unsure what I need, to be honest. At this time, I think I know now what I need. You see, sometimes you just need to take a memento to yourself. And I'm fed up of cleaning brushes or starting new brushes, so I'm going to clean one or two here. All right. Yeah. So now, let's try this again. Not that it was, it wasn't horrendous, but it's not where I want it to be. And I think that matters. I think that's kind of important. I have a bit of a vision of where I want it to lie, and it kind of has to fall into that vision, All right. I'm just going to soften this a little bit. This time, a little bit of stippling maybe. Soften those edges. Bringing it up, bringing it up, bringing it up. Oh, that's a bit better. Let me just have, yes, that's a bit better. It is indeed. All right, now, okay, just getting rid of these edges. All right, happier with that now. Much happier with that, actually. Okay, now, this transition here, do I need to worry about that now or later? I think later. Let me see, I may as well fill in just the rest of this here. Just while I'm here, may as well use what's on the palette. Just along here. Right, and please get me that green again. And bring it up to here. Okay. Now, let's play the game of wiping it off wherever is necessary. There we go, look at that now. Coming along rightly. Big thumbprint right in the middle of it, and I'm not going to the edge there. I don't like that now. I want to get to the edge here. Okay, and the same with this. Just down in there. Oh, I didn't go to the edge. Wonder what that's all about. So, I think I can safely say that that is a underpainting. And just right along here, just putting that in. And I want to see the edge of this building here. I want it as a lost edge. Just fading off into the forest. I don't know if I am done. I don't know if I am done, but I think I might be done. Am I done? Am I done? I think I might be. Yeah, I think that'll do for the underpainting. Right. Now, still too edgy here. Too edgy. That's what it is. Too edgy. Just want to really gradate that in there so that you can barely see it as a transition. I think it's near enough at it anyway. Alright. Now it's far too early to mark for anything else. As in permanent marks, as in trees and things like that, but we're there. We're getting there even. Bum 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 boop boop. Now that is too dark. Too dark. Too dark, too dark, too dark. And the same here. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so lovely jubbly, eh? Lovely jubbly. All right, now look at that. Nice wee accident there. See this? I'm going to turn that into a tree with a little bit of a reflection there. Isn't that a happy accident type thing? I think I want these edges. Yeah, I want these edges a little bit more soft. There we go. Right, okay. Bum, bum, bum. The same again. I wonder why I'm not going into the edges here. Yeah, let me just check the rest of it. Yeah, that's fine. Strange behavior. No. All right. Oh. There we go, there we go. Now, I think the same here, but for some reason, the transitions today are annoying me, and can't. Let me see. That's a bit better. Yes, that is a bit better. Now, while I'm here, I might as well just create some lighted areas here. I'm not sure if you can see that on camera. You can see that for sure though. Now let me see. All right, now. I honestly don't think there's much more I can do for the time being if my purpose is to let this dry, which it is. Slightly dry, you know, I'll be okay by tomorrow. I'll be able to work on it by then, if I'm up to it. Maybe get a few painkillers in me. Something like that anyway. Right. I'll see yous. Oh, sorry, I made that really clip there. Anyway, I'll see yous all soon enough, and bye for now. All right, folks, now back to this one. Right, so now what am I looking for? Now, it's been a while since I've been on this one. A couple of, I don't know actually how long it's been, but it has been a bit. So it has. It has been a bit. Right, so I'm looking for just some rough brushes. I'll just use my normal ones. So I will. Right, now, I'm going to focus on the sky bit here. And I'll just use my normal ones. So I will. Right, now, I'm going to focus on the sky bit here. I'm going to focus on the sky bit here. I'm going to focus on the sky bit here. I'm going to focus on the sky bit here. I'm going to focus on the sky bit here. I'm going to focus on the sky bit here. I'm going to focus on the sky bit here. I'm going to focus on the sky bit here. I'm going to focus on the sky bit here. I'm going to focus on the sky bit here. I'm going to focus on the sky bit here. I'm going to focus on the sky bit here. I'm going to focus on the sky bit here. I'm going to focus on the sky bit here. I'm going to focus on the sky bit here. I'm going to focus on the sky bit here. I'm going to focus on the sky bit here. I'm going to focus on the sky bit here. I'm going to focus on the sky bit here. I'm going to focus on the sky bit here. I'm going to focus on the sky bit here. I'm going to focus on the sky bit here. I'm going to focus on the sky bit here. I'm going to focus on the sky bit here. I'm going to focus on the sky bit Alright, okay, now a little bit of an orangey sky going on here. Orangey yellowish. The oxide red will help with it a bit. A little bit of liquid. I just want to get this in now. I want to put the tiniest bit of blue in it as well, just to knock that yellow out of it a touch. A little bit of spirits as well. Okay, don't want too much on the brush. I'm just going to scumble this on. Is it maybe a bit more orange in that, I think. Just a bit. You can always lighten it up a wee bit later if needs be. Let me see here. Okay. I'm just going to put this on. I'll lighten it a little bit. Put this on. Now let's take a little bit of it off. Just a bit. Spread it around too. Gently, I'm not wiping it off. Now, might as well just use this blue here, or this yellow that I have sitting here. Just a little bit of red, a little bit of cadmium red, just to slightly warm this sky up a bit. Let me just checking where I'm at here at the minute. I just don't want to go too blue and too grey just at the minute. What I do want it a bit brighter than what I have it here. So I shall brighten it then, shan't I? Right, a little bit more red, a little bit more cerulean blue. Take this over to the corner. That's too much. You see, that's a bit better. That is a bit better. Okay. Now, let's work all this together. Starting with this area first and just working out. Just softening all these edges for the incoming trees, as it were. All right. Now, a little bit. Do I want that a little bit brighter? Just a touch. I'll put a little bit, touch in it here, just there. And just slightly work that through. You see it? Just that little touch brighter. Now, let's get some tree shapes going on here. Now there are a number of ways to do this. Filbert brushes have a nice natural round end on them. Using a soft one or a hard one, it's up to yourself. I think I use a softer one here. Now let's get some, what do you call that? Raw umber. A little bit of red in it. All I'm doing is using the existing the existing colors on the palette here. Let me see now. That's pretty close, but I don't think, is it misty enough? As in other words, as I'm coming up further up, I'll be wanting this to be more misty. Okay, now we'll have, I think the tone is right here. Now a little bit darker. I'll do the bottom areas first. I mean along the areas here before I move up into the sky. Although I'll say I'll do that, it doesn't mean that's what I'm going to stick to. But for the time being, that's the plan. All right, let's see now. A bit too dark. Okay, that's a bit better. You see all these trees beginning to develop now, just off in the distance. Make sure that it's okay, you know. I don't want to be messing around with it and then having to come back again. So I'm going to take my time with this, folks. No rush. I'll put a little bit of ultramarine blue in it as well. Just give me the second here that I need. Right, I had to put some out there. All right. Just a touch in it, just to help cool it down that little tiny bit. Okay, now. Too much black in it there. Just a touch too much. Just a touch too much. Too much, too little, too late to try again with you. I believe that was a Johnny Mathis song. I can't remember the name of the girl he sang with. Now, I'm not too happy with this, but it is still early stages for it. All right. It's a long, lonely, lonely night. Girl, you can make the morning if you try. All right, okay. Right. Well, that's decent enough now. Let's bring it further on over. I'm not being too pernickety in certain areas, you know. These are distant trees. Some of them I want to look exactly like a bit of a tree, but for the most part, I don't want to be too pernickety in the whole thing. For the most part. Okay, just let it come up to being a little frayed bits. Okay, now this gradient from here to here, I'm not too keen on. So, let us fix such a thing. Right, that's kind of it. But I just want to get that in there. Get it all nice and scraggledy and scriggledy before I get the kitchen towel onto it. Right, I wanted, you see this transition here, along here, I want that to fade as if it's kind of slightly further in the background. Just a touch. So a little bit more mist is affecting it. So I do want that to be quite a soft transition. Now let me see. Oh yes, yes. Maybe make this a bit brighter actually. I think I'll do that. So I think that's what it does. Let me see. Is that, I think that might be just about right. So I'll do. I'm still in two minds here, so just playing at the minute here. Scumbling on a bit of mist to redefine these trees in the background here. Alright, so now let's get I'm going to use a dry brush here, an old rough one is what I'm after. Just an old beat up dry brush and just drag that, softening that up. Alright. I think my problem that I'm experiencing is that this is too dark. Just here it's too dark. Yes. Okay. Yes, that's a bit better. Let's just beat this up a little bit. Yes, I feel that's a bit better, indeed. Right, now the transition from here to here. I want that to also be a soft transition. So, a little bit of oxide red on it this time because of this. This is a lot of scumbling, folks. This is yes, there's quite a lot of scumbling in here. Right, okay, let me see. Right, this area here is just the tip. so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just looking at this transition from here to here, and I'm okay. Right, I'm okay with this. So I'm going to start putting in a few distant trees. Now, what should I use? What should I use? What should I use? I'll use this little brush here. Now, just a nice grey trunk off in the distance here. I'll make sure that I'm not too bright, and that's too bright. Bit of blue, bit of raw umber. And let me just check a wee bit one more time. And that's a bit too, just in between now, a bit too dark. There we go. Trial and error, folks. You can, oh, I don't know, I don't think you can see that, but you can just barely notice this. Now another one that's a bit more noticeable just here. Right, these are very distant trees, folks. Or not distant, they're covered with mist. They're often hiding in this little forest type thing here. A bit too bright. Let's knock that back a touch. Now, some darker spots. A little bit of raw umber actually. I don't know why I went straight to black there. But a little bit of umber. Alright, now, let me see here just. Now, of course, I'll be getting a kitchen towel over this and giving it and softening it up just a touch. These are off in the distance, and I don't really want these very defined branches over in the background here. Okay, now, just going to, I may have waited too long on this side, I think I might have done, so I'm just going to rub it a little bit. That helps soften it up a touch. Okay, now where's that orange that I had earlier? An orange brush. Actually, I'm going to use a different one here. I'll use this one here. I just want to tint the back of this a little bit. Very subtly, and that's way too not subtle. That's what I have down here. Okay, so there we go. Softening that up now. Now, you'll be wondering why I did that. There's going to be a big line of trees coming right through this, and I want that light shining through them. Now, I think that I will work on the house here for the time being. I'm just checking my perspectives on it. I think so far, okay. So, I need to get myself a nice sharp brush or a palette knife. I'll go for the sharp brush and we'll see. Right, okay. It's a long, long, lonely night. You can make me moan. Okay. But not so bright, I think. Let me just try this. Now, I don't want a perfect rendering of a building here. All I want is the idea of it here. Some sharp edges, some very soft edges. Okay. I think I'm going to almost leave that, I think. Let that be rough at the base there. Okay. Bit of blue, a bit of a tiled roof this, but not so noticeable because so far in the distance you can't really see the tiles. All right. So same again, folks. Just making sure that I have the top of this properly. Oh, no, I definitely don't want it to be the same as this. So do I a little bit lighter than that, I think. I want you to see it. Now a bit darker as I'm coming down here, just a half a step in tones, a little bit darker, not much. Now I think that is off. I do think it is off a little bit. Here, I just make this a little bit taller. Yes, a bit happier with that. And again, keeping it rough in certain areas, and then in other areas not so rough. I still see that as off. I know what it is. It's not the it's not this part. it's this part here. I'm just going to yeah, that feels a bit better. All right, now a bit brighter in certain areas just to give that impression of it. It's not all one thing, you know. Well, it is all one roof, but you know what I mean. It's not, there's some texture on the roof is what I'm trying to say. All right, okay. Now, I'm going to work on the building itself here. It's going to get covered. Well, I don't know whether to cover it in a little bush or not, but for the time being, I just want to work on this. So, a bit of a red attached to this, and lots of umber. Nice and dark. Is that dark enough? Is that dark enough? It is for where it is, yes. It is for where it is. Okay. Now a little bit of black, a little bit of blue, help cool it. All right, now I see him up in here. Probably be better off with a sharper brush. Just a wee flat, wee cheap flat. Nothing special about it. And while I'm here, I might as well work on this area here too. Again, a bit of a darker area. Yep. Okay. I'm just going to sharpen this corner up a bit here. I have to contort myself into some shapes at times to try and make sure my hands don't go in front, or my big arms don't go in front of the camera. All right, now we have He Belong. I want this to be lost. I want that to be lost in the, in amongst all of this here. So I'm going to paint it lost. Just get the edges here. That's a bit, it's just a bit, now, let me see. Yes, that's better. I'm happy with that. A bit darker in certain areas. Just want to lose some edges there as well. Okay. Now everything else can hold on, and I'm just going to put the idea of these trees in at the minute. So I am. So where is my better brush for such a thing? I'll be back. Okay, now this kind of isn't the brush that I was after, but it will do. So it will. More burnt umber than anything else. A little bit of liquid to help it move, a little bit of spirits to help it move too. So I'm going to place these just about here-ish, I think. Yeah. Now, the placement of these can be fixed. Just scraping the brush up, just like so. Just jiggling it as I'm coming up. I don't want this straight big pole. I kind of want this coming off the edge of the painting, but slightly getting thinner and thinner as we move up. Okay. Now, I think maybe a bit thicker than that. So I'm just going to go up the edge of this here, just to broaden it out a bit. Take a wee branch off. Okay. As I say, this is just the suggestion of these for the time being. Now another one here, on the same level, on the same plane. A little bit thinner. Just jiggling the brush the whole way up, so it creates jaggedy edges. Now you see this, the idea of putting that orange colour down a wee bit earlier. That's just so that it can shine through these trees. And then when the branches go on it, I'll paint in some orange branches as if the light is shining through those orange branches. So, now, very close to this one, as if it's just breaking off. But not too, don't go too far from it. There we go. All right, now, well, just while I'm here, I may as well put in a few more, and I'm just having a wee look here to see if I need to do anything. Maybe, you know what I'll do? Next, and now this is just a wee thing. I think I'm going to put a bit of a pathway in here. Just along here, between the trees. Oh, somebody had to... Right now, where was I? What was I doing there? Oh yes, but no, yes, I think it's a bit high. I'm going to redo that just a bit lower here. Right, so let me see. Just bring it down a little bit here. Breaking it up because there's going to be trees going through it. I suppose you can break it up with the trees themselves. Now you can see a little path going through that. Right, so now what am I going to do here? I'll be wanting to bring this down a bit further. I'm just thinking out loud to myself here, folks. So I'll do that. What I will do is that I will gently soften that. Alright, a wee path in the back. Now I do want to bring this down a bit here, so I'll do that right now before I lay in the trees. With what? I'll do it with the filbert that I was using. It's just an old filbert, folks. Just an old filbert. Now, a little bit darker in certain areas. Just having a wee look at this, I think that this area here needs darkened a touch. I'm not. I'm going to put in a few other things first before we make that determination. Alright, okay. Yeah, I think I'm right. I think it needs it. So, let's do such a thing. Oops. I'm going to be taking a lot of this off. I just want some residual stuff left behind here. But I do want the kind of like a vignette-y type thing going on. And you know what, I'm going to do it as I go along because I don't want it drying up on me. It almost did already. It shows you how effective that those mineral spirits can be for quickly drying oil paint. Okay, that's good. Getting there. A little bit more here. A little bit more red in it. Oxide red, by the way, folks. And just coming up here. Let's see where we are here. All right, that's fine. A little bit left in here, so I'm just going to be a bit careful here. Just a bit careful. There we go. Now, I want a dry brush. I want, where did I leave my dry brush? I think I have used my dry brush and wetted it. So I will pick up another one. Just didn't want that too much of a transition there is all. Right, now back to getting in. Oh no, not quite yet. Not quite yet. Yeah, not quite yet. Nearly there. Again, dry brush. There we go. I'm still seeing this house as being quite off. I think it needs to, yeah, I think I'm going to at least experiment with it here anyway. It's just not sitting the way I want it to sit. So I'm going to lift the tip of this a good bit. Bit more. I think I'm unsure what's wrong with this one. I do still think it's this area here. Alright, so I will have another go at this. I'll just darken this area down rather than lift it up. I'll just darken it down now. Am I going this way or this way? I think I'm going to go this way. Yeah. No, I know I said this before, but that does look a bit better. So it does. So it does. Right, I want to just put in the eaves of this while I'm here. That's why I'm on it. Might as well. Okay. Now, let's get round to here. Now, I have a solution for making that roof a little bit too long. And that solution is to just put in a little bit of a lift in the roof. So I'll use this here to do such a thing. Show you now what I mean. Hopefully this comes off properly, just here. There we go. That looks like one of those wee tapered roofs, or roofs. Right. So where am I? I think what I'll do is I'll finish off some of the trees along here, or just putting them in the first place, and then I will do other things. What will I do? I think that'll do me for today, at least on this. Right, so where's my little brush? There we go. Okay, now. I'm just practicing the move here, I'm just checking. So these are a bit further back, so a tiny bit thinner. I'll just give this one a bit of a sweep. Okay. And then when the time comes, I will of course come along and put in all the relevant highlights. Be too careful because this is all in the background here. This is all, you'll just barely see these trees and no more. But there is care. Of course, there's always care to be taken, but sometimes you just want to put it in. A bit of confidence in your stroke. Alright, think what I'll do is I just want to I think I'll put in some of the grass here. Okay, nice dark green-ish. Tiny bit of red just to knock the green out of it a little bit. Let me see. Let me have a wee look at that. I'm happy with that. I think so. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scrape this on. Leaving behind a little tiny bit of that underpainting that I had going. Alright. Just taking a moment here, folks. I don't want to go too far and then have to come back and redo things here. But for the time being, this is fine. Now I need to grey up the far back of it here a little bit, but I already knew how to do that. Alright, that looks scraped on, which is what I'm after. So let's get the back of this done properly. Now, same grain, just grey it up a bit. Take it into the back here, just grey it up. I'm using the colours that's already on the palette, which is handy, it makes life easy. And I'm just checking if that's too bright. I think it is a touch too bright, but only half a tone. Don't fret over it. And this will denote distance, off in the distance there. I want it to come right across. Alright, let me see. So far, I think, actually, you know what? I want this to be a bit sharper. I want some of these lines to be sharpened. As if it's just stopping dead at the house. Okay, just trying to keep my burns. You can easily get lost in a painting. Very easily at times get lost. Alright, okay. Now I'm coming forward here. That green is going to get a slight bit darker as I'm moving forward. So a little bit more phthalo green, a little bit of yellow, a little bit of blue. And now, is that darker? It is a bit, the tiniest bit of red. Just again, just to knock it back. So, let me see, I'm just scraping this on again. Is that, I'm having a wee look now, folks, is that, I don't think it's grey enough. I'm just going to use what's on the palette here, just to help grey that out a touch, keeping it darkish, as it were. and just scrape that on, like so. And don't worry. Look at that. Look at all that lovely textures popping up there. That's good. That's what you're after. A little bit of a darker thing here, just to put the base in. Just putting the base of that in. I'm going to have a some sort of wee pathway. Actually, that's a good idea. Another pathway coming along here, just to help break up this area. That's all that's happening here. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll put it in dark instead of light. Yeah. Is this sharp, this brush? No, it's not. So I'm going to get a sharper brush. I think I'll just use this one. So, little bits of this, a little bit of that, and I don't want any lumps in it either, so I don't. So let's see here. Let me just go across here. And I think that this is a bit dark, you know that. But I'm okay with it. I'm going to soften it down a touch. And that should work it into the... So what I'm doing at the minute is the wrong thing. I'm getting caught up in details. So I am. And I shouldn't be. But sometimes, you know, I'm not sure whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, but sometimes putting in the odd detail here and there allows you to see the entire composition. Not all the time though, sometimes it works against you. Probably needs to be just a touch brighter. Just a half a tone brighter. There we go. Just to give that sense. Right, so what do I want to do? I've just recognized that my mic has been sitting on the desk. I'm going to have to amplify that a little bit for you. Anyway. Right, so where's my other little brush that I was using? Here it is. I'm going to put in some branches here. Just to see what this looks like. I have a feeling this might be a bit dark, but it is there, so it'll not really matter because I don't want to be spending all my time on this. I just want this to be nice and properly scraggly. So I do. Bit brighter in some areas. Bit grayer too. Just trying to, see the way I'm flicking the brush all the time? Trying to create that idea of the way the branches work. You know, they grow, then they break, they grow off, and they have these sharpened corners and whatnot. And jiggling the brush helps create that. Oh, da 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 do do. La da do 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 do. Hear the music of the water, tender sounds inside. Almost there for this one. Just a few darker branches, just to break these areas up here. Okay. And I might as well then work on the other ones here, just for the time being. Bum ba da ba ba bum. Lots and lots of them, folks. You know the way trees just produce so many branches. Kind of what we're after here. Just thickening this trunk here. Now a little bit brighter. Still using the same mix, just brightening it up a little bit. Bit darker than that though. Right, okay, I'm going to take a moment to myself. Yes, I think that'll do me. That'll do me for now. Feel myself, my mind, I'm going elsewhere. Probably why I left that mic off there when I was answering the door. Anyway, I'm just taking a moment to myself. And then I will come back and finish this up. See you soon. Bye for now. Right, okay folks, back to this little one. And I'm going to work a little bit on the grasses here. It's a bit too green for me. So let's orange it up a tiny bit. Now I'm adding a little bit of red to it, as red will go a long way to help grey it out a touch. Now I'm kind of just scumbling this type of thing on. Just dragging it across, this is almost, oh, I need to change my glasses. This is almost dry. So this yellowy, orangey green will help help grey it out a bit. Bit of highlights in it here and there too. Just along here, folks, and just scraping it across, and it leaves a good bit of a good texture behind. Don't worry about hitting the trees. All of that can be fixed. You see that? The slight highlight, just a slight highlight. Now I'm going to darken this down a touch. Again, just the smallest amounts on the brush. Now, probably a bit darker than that. Let me see. Oops. All right. Okay. Now that's leaving a good bit of texture behind and a bit of highlight on it as well. I'm happier with that. So I want to work in around this area here, and I'm creating what am I creating here? Just a bit of a I wouldn't say a garden, but something like that, you know. I probably should put out more umber. Covering this up with a little bit of a bush coming across here. Oops. Don't want too much little lumpy bits in it. Only my love, goodbye. Right, a little bit darker at the base. Just that half a shift, just a half a tone down in here. Now hopefully I'm giving the impression here of a little bit of a bush that is slightly shriveled up, just along here, just covering these edges up here, along there too. Now, very good. Okay, right. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to place in a lot of little trees in here, just the bases of them. I think I'm going to have to give in and put down some raw umber. But there's still a bit on this, so there is still a touch. Just lots of different little ones. I can always wipe them out if needs be. Hopefully that's giving you the impression here that there's a lot of trees going on here. With small type of forest type of thing. Now, I think we'll just give in and put out some raw umber. I'm going to need more of it. Now I have gone over these trees a bit, so I'm just going to redo them. Not much. I don't mind the bit of a roughness about it. But I suppose, yeah, you can't be too obvious about that, eh? There we go. Right, so let me see now. Yes, I definitely want some things happening here, and these all need bedded in too, by the way, which I think I'll do now with this on the brush. just putting in little bases here. Just to let those feel as if they're bedded into the ground there. Okay. No, 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 no. Where's that? There we go. Okay, I'll just try this for size. Is it a bit bright? Can you even see that? You can. It's not too bright. It's fine. Okay, a little bit darker. I don't want them all the same. Now, I want one pretty bright, probably at the front here. And a little bit warmer. A little bit of liquid and it'll just help it, help with the viscosity of it. Just going to redo this one here. All right. Now, I just want to make sure that I'm happy with this before I decide to move on. Alright, I want to put a little bit of sky in the thing here. Not much, just a little bit. No. Nope. A little bit of blue in it then. Really grey this out. And now I'm just going to add some white. And we'll see here, just here. Now I'm going to really knock that back with this here. Right. Just alright, let me see. Just thinking to myself. Yeah, okay. Kind of getting there. Right, okay. At least I think now for the time being that this will do. And now I'm just right. I'm looking for to put in some edges on this water, and yeah. And so I'm going to try different. Not try, I'm going to match. I'm going to see if I can find a tone for it. That would be a better way to put it. Maybe a bit more umber rather than black. Okay. Just creating edges here. There's a lot of this still needs covered up. I'm just going to deal with that now. Lots of little bumps and whatnot, just bumps, little bumps and whatnot. Right, now there are some very dark areas that I want in place here. So I am going to blue and black this one. So I am. On a nice darker image just along here. And definitely just creating the edges because this is going to be pretty dark down here. I'm just creating a very definite thing going on there. Right, have I got everything? Well, it seems where I am, it's a very dark day and the lights seem very dark. I don't think that helped much. Right, okay, now I've got a little bit of dark on my brush here, so I'm going to use it as I wiped a good bit of it off there. So I'm just going to stain this little bit here. Just gently. I just want a slightly different tone here. Let me see now. Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. Now it's stuck off in the covered in thingamajigs. Okay. So I'm going to work on this area here. Just get myself a bit of a softish brush. And let us see. Now I'm going to put a liquid in here because this is going to be quite the scumble, or the glaze, sorry. So let me see. I'm just going to drag down. And I want it darker than that. Bit of blue in it too. A bit of red in it, bit of oxide red. Not too much on the brush. Don't want to completely cover this. Really don't. Not at this stage. I'll be coming along. With a slightly different tone and color, and I don't really want to completely cover it just yet. There's a little bit left there. It may be hard for you to see, but there is a little bit there. Now, let me see now. So quite a dark blue here. with the oxide red now. Let me see. I think it's. Oh, I think it's okay. Yes. Right. Okay. Now what I need is to get in closer there. I'm not in close enough on this here. And I'm just gently scrubbing this out to the edges here. Now I'm going to put this in. I maybe put this in just here and no more. I think I should be able to get away with that. I'll just pick for it now. This one here, just right there. Here. There, you see? That actually shows up quite well. No, it doesn't. And then now this one, it's a thinner one. Here. And I think I maybe what I'll do is I'll lighten its surrounding areas, just to make it pop out a little bit more. Let me see here. Now let me see. Oh yes, that's working. It just needs worked in is all. Now I'm not sure. I think the house is the house is too far away to be reflected. For sure it is. But this light here in the sky, I want it popping up over here. And what I think I'll do now, look at that, that's too much of a straight line. So I'm going to use my finger and just rack this edge here. Let that fade in. So let me see, what I will do is I will just re-establish this a little bit. Now because it's a reflection, I'm just going to be a little bit higgledy with it, higgledy-piggledy, as they say. Okay, now I want to lighten this area. Give me another. I want a small brush. Now, I want kind of the same color, only a bit of a darker hue to it. Slightly warmer as well. Let me see here. Let me see. I'm unsure. Just going to give myself a little moment here. I think this is working. Let me just drag this over a little bit more. Kind of have it just fading a little bit around the base here. Let me see, look at that. Yes, okay. I'm going to definitely do it here. Just right here. That shows that the reflection of that tree, of this tree here, just shows it, and then this one here too. Now, I'm just going to loosely put in some reflections here of the later trees that's in this here. Now, I say loosely, I'm just going to this is already wet, so I'm just working this into it. Now, a wee trick here, folks. Just going to get the fan brush. Just going to run across it like so. Oh, now it has dried up a little bit, so there. Okay. Now I'm going to put a little, just a little ripple or two in the water. And of course it'll be the sky colorish type of thing. Okay. Just to this helps denote a little bit of water. And do you know, whenever you're looking at water, sometimes you see all those little white dots on it. I'm going to be putting some of those on, but they're not going to be white. There we go. Just soften that into it a little bit. Now these are not going to be white, but I want a pin-like brush, which I don't think I have. Or do I? Do I? There's one. Very fine, very small, very fine. It's a Rosemary and Co. size 20, series 315. Now, it's not white, but it's not far from it either. Okay. Now, I definitely want something across here. Right, okay. Boom, 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 boom. Let's see. But more orange. Just a little bit of light there is all. Now I'm also going to highlight this little path here as well, a little bit more than what I have it there. In certain areas, not all over the place, just here maybe. Okay, don't like that. Just take the bottom of that off. Right, so now what do I like and not like here? I don't like this area here, not too much. I just didn't like the way it was sitting there. Now, I want the tiniest bit of a highlight on this field. Let me see, just along here. Can you see that? You can. And going in between the trees, and a little bit up here. Now, my question is it bright enough? Right, I'm not done with this yet. There's a little bits and bobs. In fact, you know what? I'll do some of it now while I have the gear here. And this is just the far distant trees here. But it's over. Now the change in tones here are, as I'm doing this here, they're very minute. There's hardly any change in tone. They're so close together. Just so close together that you can barely notice any difference in them. Yes, I need to darken this little thingy-majig down. I need to wipe this off. Now, I'm not quite happy with the base of these trees yet. Now, there we go. Right, what I want to do, actually, while I'm here, I'm just going to scumble this on, is the eaves here. Just going to scumble on this. Oops. That little bit of a darker thing, you can barely see that, and I will want to do it in there, so I need a smaller brush, which I will get now. This little brush should do the job. just in here. Okay, now another one here. All these little things make a difference. Right, so what did I say I wasn't happy with? Yes, the base of these trees. I'm not too bad with them, you know. And what I've done was the black or the dark color that I had for here, for this here in the tree, all I did was wipe it off on some kitchen towel, and the residual stuff that's on the brush will act here, will do this job here. And that helps ground those a little bit better, I think. Yeah, that does. Now, a few highlights here and there, and I think I might be done with this. Let me see, just one here. And another one just at the ridge here. And at this ridge here. Just at any of these wee ridges, I'm just sticking it in. And right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that I'm done with this, but I might revisit it in a day or two when I've had a look. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the tape and say thank you all for watching. If you could, please like and subscribe. And all of that. Try and watch as much of the videos as you can. Whenever you're going out shopping, stick one or two of them on in the background. It really helps with the algorithm. Oops. Goodness me. Right, let me just right, this one hasn't come off properly. All right, there we go. And now the top one, and that is it. Okay, so folks, again, thank you for watching. And I think I'm done with this one. And I'll see you all in the next one. Okay, bye for now.